BTW update. Hey, what's up, guys? It's Lamb. I wanted to make a BTW update real quick because it's been like 3 or 4 weeks since I uploaded the last BTW. I got sick. Colin got depression. It was a rough couple of weeks for your boys. So, because I got sick, I decided to get someone else to edit the video. And so I got a guy named ROH's War. I found him on Reddit. He sounds like a pretty quality guy. So I let him edit the video. Hopefully it turned out okay. Thank you guys for watching. I will talk to you guys in 2 weeks when we upload our next BTW. Sorry for the hiatus. I should. Boys Talk Wrestling! Boys Talk Wrestling! Boys Talk Wrestling! BTW! 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 BTW!
What's up, y'all? This is Boys Talk Wrestling, episode number 6. This time we've got Ring of Honor Man Up, and we went through a lot to watch this show.
This was a disaster.
But yeah, I'm Colin.
I'm Lamb.
They call me Camel.
And yeah, we went through a lot to watch this. So who wants to start off?
Alright, so Ring of Honor. The site sucks. They suck. I hope they go out of business very soon.
Wow.
So Colin, about a month ago at this point, said, hey, let's do a mid-2000s Ring of Honor show, or an 80s WWF show. We did Royal Rumble 90, I think, was it? I don't fucking know. But, we did that because, I was browsing the internet, and I found, Ring of Honor Man Up 2007, which, seemed like it had a pretty good card, so I figured why not.
It's just 2007, not 2007. That implies that there'd be a decimal point somewhere in there.
Kill yourself. So I looked around for some ways to view it, some alternative methods, wink wink, nudge nudge. Sadly, there were not any torrents out there that I could find. So naturally, the next place you go to is Dailymotion. Dailymotion had a couple matches, but not the whole show. We need the whole ding dong diddly show. So as much as I didn't want to, I went to the Honor Club, baby. The Honor Club is the WWE network alternative for Ring of Honor, pretty much. So, I didn't know how to navigate their shitty website.
Except it's garbage and you can't navigate it.
The website sucks, and they suck, and they should kill themselves for making it.
There's no way of knowing what's actually on the Honor Club before you subscribe, too.
Yeah, that's the worst part, actually. You don't really actually know what you're getting. It's kind of very unclear, which is why we signed up in the first place.
I signed up. So I signed up. I'm all, hey, y'all can PayPal me $3, and, whatever, this'll be our account, no homo. And, they didn't have the fucking pay-per-view. They
didn't have much of anything, actually.
They have, 2014 to now, and it's, just pay-per-views and stuff. But, hey, at least I could get Final Battle $30 off. So
yeah,
that
you
was
get, half off on their pay-per-views.
Well,
is
yeah.
Who's even paying that much for pay-per-views for wrestling these days?
I went and looked through, and there was barely anything. I think Camel's being generous right now because I don't even
I am being extremely generous.
There were a lot of 10-minute clips.
The only reason you would ever sub to the Honor Club or anything that Ring of Honor puts out is if you are an indie mart, and that is a shoot. So
they even have the Founders Club or whatever where you can subscribe for $200 a month or something. I don't even know what you get. It's very confusing. I will link the Honor Club in the description so you guys can see how stupid it is, because they list what you can get with it, and it's like old shows, etc. And then there's nothing on there. Like you can watch like a 10-minute collection of Samoa Joe clips. That's as old school as you're getting, pretty much.
Oh yeah, they had a Briscoe collection too, which was
Mhm.
the only thing from Man Up that they have on the Ding Dong Diddley Honor Club. Is the main event for this program. So after pretty much, we tried to do it legally, we tried to do it illegally. Well, we took it to eBay. Lucky for
Yeah,
us.
for whatever reason, we were just set on this show.
We had to do it. The fact that
Like
it was
once we
so
decide on
rare.
the show, we have decided, and that's what.
Well,
we're
after
gonna watch.
after taking hours to try and find it, and then subbing to the Honor Club and not getting the show, I was determined to watch this stupid bingo hall gymnasium
Outlaw
show, Outlaw Indie Fed.
I
So
mean, we're one of the only people to see it in 2018, if not the only
it's-
people to see it in 2018, if you think about it.
there's literally nowhere on the internet you can find this show. It's impossible to find.
You can find bits and pieces here and there if you look hard enough, but we wanted the whole experience and the whole thing all together.
Oh yeah.
So we hit up eBay. There was a guy in Australia and a guy in England selling it. So we just went with the Eurofag. And
Oh, dude.
I believe that, Lambent.
Okay.
And yeah, spent like 36 euros or so on this. They paid me $10 back, so that we split it 3 ways, no homo. And I'm looking at the DVD case right now, and we finally got it.
Yeah, it took about 2 weeks to get here, so that's why we ended up doing Royal Rumble 1990.
Yeah, I get it.
We weren't even sure what we were going to be getting in the mail. We could have gotten spider eggs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody could have spiked the box with some bunch of spider eggs.
Anthrax or something.
Our buddy Ferg Dog insisted that it had to be spider eggs, but it ended up being
To
the
this
DVD.
day. He insists we still have spider eggs in this box.
So yeah, it was actually kind of cool that this show is so rare. I think I've put together a hypothesis as to why. I think it's mainly because Ring of Honor was using some production company back then that they don't have a relationship with anymore. Because when you start up the show, there's like some sort of other company that they have like an intro, and then the Ring of Honor intro plays. So that's why I think all the old Ring of Honor stuff, you can't get it because they won't let it go. So
They have some copyright tunes on here too, which
oh
and Ring of
yeah,
Honor probably doesn't have the technology to dub that over. So
I don't
that
think
probably
so.
doesn't.
Yeah, they're just a
Well,
bunch
considering the Honor Club website was probably just designed by like some intern in like a week. I mean, I don't think they're really that dedicated
That's
to
true,
actually
that's
doing
true.
that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I guess that would
Yeah, at
make
least you
sense.
can watch Ring of Honor house shows.
Yeah, I mean, who would? I watched a match on the Honor Club actually. I watched Brandy Rhodes. I watched a Brandy Rhodes match. She's a real
How was
mat
that?
technician. Reminded me a little bit of Trish Stratus back in the day. Like, she's just a really good technician. I enjoyed the match.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So Lambent, it's come to my attention. You have some shooting of your own you want to do.
Oh yeah, so this is some friendly fire, dude.
This is a new segment called
yeah.
Friendly Fire.
Okay, so we go through all this shit. It takes almost a month to get
Oh
here.
my god, I think I know where this is going.
And we are a week late for our show. And I was all like, okay, let's do it, guys. And Colin's like, I don't feel like it. So it just so happens that Colin goes through a bout of depression right when we get access to the show. It was
You
very
do record this
unfortunate.
on a Tuesday or a Wednesday for rule of thumb.
Yeah, I mean, I just got a new job, so my schedule's all messed up, and so that
Well, that
problem.
was the real problem. We just couldn't match up our schedules very well.
Yeah, Colin's nocturnal. I started having to go to bed early, so it was a nightmare. I'd wake up and I'd be like, Colin, did you watch it? And then he'd be like, no, and then he'd go to sleep, and then I would be going to sleep, and he'd wake up, and I'd be like, I can stay up if you watched it, and he's like, I haven't watched it yet. So it was an all-out nightmare, but we're finally getting it done. And
We are here.
yeah, I mean, I'm not a indie guy. I'm a sports entertainment kind of guy. So I just can't believe that I went through so much for this stupid bingo hall show
Outlaw bingo indie fed.
in an armory, and it's like,
It's not an armory. Armories don't have basketball hoops.
oh well, maybe some do.
I mean,
How
they
many
could.
armories have you been to?
Approximately 0.
So yeah, yeah, this was quite the adventure. Probably the most effort that we've ever done as far as this show goes into like trying to find a show and stuff. And we actually spent money too, so.
And then
Yeah,
Cameline had some trouble ripping the DVD.
Oh yeah.
I finally just booted up OBS and
Yeah, he ended up just recording this fucking screen.
But we did it. I hit up Mega Upload, got it to them. Here we are now.
And now the whole world can enjoy this pay-per-view.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna probably trim it up. I dropped my phone. I'm probably gonna trim it up and put it somewhere.
Yeah.
So that a bunch of indie geeks, indie marks can enjoy this 2-hour
Hopefully
program.
the U.S. Marshals don't come knocking on Cameline's door.
I mean,
I wish they would.
it's been decades probably since someone's been able to watch the full version of this, because I'm guessing after the
Decades. It's only been out a decade.
yeah, decades. After the original DVD run, I'm sure they stopped making it. So that's pretty much, and who knows how long that lasted. That might have been like a month. So, you know. This is like a national treasure for indie wrestling right here.
This is lost media is what we have right now.
Yep.
Alright, so shall we get started?
I guess.
Yeah, let's do this shit.
Yeah, I guess. Let's just jump right into it.
Yes, so
Ring of Honor, Man Up. From the Frontier Field House, as mentioned, a literal gymnasium.
Yeah.
In Chicago, Illinois. The show was taped on September 15th, 2007, and first aired on November 30th, 2007.
this was their second pay-per-view, correct?
I have no idea.
I mean,
Alright,
I thought that was pretty amazing that it took them 2 months to put this together so it could be put on pay-per-view.
Dude, you saw the PowerPoints. This probably took quite a while. I mean, if you've seen their website, you'd know how this would probably take years to put out. So I'm impressed.
Yeah, I just think it was like a team of monkeys all in a room just trying
What
to
do you
figure
mean
out how
monkeys?
to edit.
What do you mean by monkeys?
The edits in this thing, I could have edited it. Camel could have edited it. Colin could have. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it opened with Dave Prazak and Lenny Leonard welcoming us to the show. What did you think about their commentary on the night, by the way?
Okay, I was not aware that Pam Ward worked for Ring of Honor,
Oh shit.
but I actually went through and tried to find an old Pam Ward video on YouTube. For people who don't know who Pam Ward is, she is a washed-up announcer who used to do like the worst Big Ten college football games every week. I don't know if she still works because I don't watch college football
I think she
anymore.
does. I don't know, though.
But they sound identical. I don't know which one it is, but one of them sounds super feminine, and like, not super feminine, but like he has like a feminine way of ending all of his words. And the announce team was so bad that I honestly wanted to mute it multiple times throughout the show, but I decided not to so I could take in the full effect.
I pretty much just filtered out the commentary. I didn't pay any attention to it at all.
Like,
I didn't
why
listen
is there
used to
two
that
of
for
them?
Monday Night.
I didn't listen super closely to it, but I didn't think they were like horrible. I thought
They were just kind of there.
they were okay. And it kind of sounded at times like they were doing their impression of a wrestling announcer.
And then
This was indie commentary.
they also had really bad audio, so they like tried to do this style where they like
Oh, yeah,
let
their mics
the-
were like peaking a bunch.
yeah, they like let the moment speak for themselves, but you could like barely hear the crowd sometimes even. So that didn't
Well,
really
that's-
work.
That's classic Ring of Honor, not like miking their crowd very well.
Yeah. So my big issue with the commentary team is that one of their voices was really bad, but the other thing was that there was no clear color commentator. It just kind of felt like they traded every time one would run out of breath.
Yeah,
So-
they spoke over each other a bit too.
Yeah, I didn't understand why there were two of them. I mean, they obviously wanted to be Joey Styles, you know, like just do one guy, do the whole show, and then that'll be that.
Yeah,
I
just
guess
do one guy.
I should
Yeah.
mention that at the end of their little welcome segment, some guy in like a ski mask just walked up and said some stuff, and
Age of the Fall! Age of the Fall!
that'll play a part later in the show. So the opening match was Nigel McGuinness versus Claudio Castagnoli versus Chris Hero with Sweet and Sour Incorporated versus Naomichi Marufuji in a four-corner survival match.
Say that one 3 times fast.
Most of a reoccurring theme of current WWE dudes showing up on the show.
Yeah.
Because Ring of Honor is a stepping stone.
Oh shoot.
Nigel cut a pre-match promo saying his journey to the title starts tonight. Claudio cut a promo saying he's going straight for Chris Hero, and Larry Sweeney of Sweet and Sour Incorporated cut a promo for Chris Hero, and he also told Dave Prazak to give him a call, mockingly.
Yeah. So, Lambin, you were telling me about the goals that each wrestler had going into each.
Yeah, I was pretty confused when this popped up, but I was like, oh my god, they actually did this. So every time a wrestler would come out, unless they didn't matter, I think some wrestlers didn't
It was
get
everyone
a
who was in a
goals.
match.
Yeah, they
Chris
didn't
Hero
get a
did not
goals
get-
phase.
For some reason.
Nah, Chris Hero had the first one, I think. That's when I recognized it, and I was really confused as to what was going on. But basically, like a PowerPoint slide would come up, and it showed like replays of them like fighting, and then it would say what their goal is. And so, like the Japanese guy, his goal was to make big in America or something. Like
Make
it
a
was-
name for himself in the U.S.
Well, no, I thought the sentence was like really messed up. I'll put a picture up of it because I remember I took one. And then Nigel's was just go and win Ring of Honor championship. It was like really weird. I didn't understand why they would have to do that, especially if they were just gonna show all their promos anyway. I don't
Well, they
know if
were-
that was a
yeah,
DVD
they were-
feature or if that was like actually on the show, but
I think it was on the pay-per-view itself. I'm not sure though.
yeah, I didn't understand why they would need to do that.
Well, they were just trying to like, tell people what was going on if they hadn't seen the show or whatever, and
This was the equivalent of a
it was
video
kind of
pack.
just like a
Before.
just a cheap attempt though. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, an actual video package would be cool, but, that's
Well,
not going to
that-
happen.
no.
Half of the stuff wasn't even recorded, I'm pretty sure. And then also, oh crap, I forgot what I was going to say.
Okay.
And
So Claudio and Hero were in early on. Marufuji did a flip dive to the outside on them, and then Nigel, after encouragement from the crowd, jumped off the top rope to the outside on them as well.
Indie geeks.
He had
And then-
frosted tips too.
What's up with the frosted tips?
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
And then everyone started getting near falls that would be broken up by someone else. So the rules of the match are supposed to be 2 people are in and are legal, and then 2 people are waiting on the outside like it's a tag match and they have to tag in to become legal. But at some point pretty early on, it just turned into a fatal 4-way.
Todd Sinclair being lenient with the rules on this
Yeah,
page.
that's what Lenny Leonard said. He was relaxing the rules.
Yeah, he was all like, there's some strategy here. You don't know when to tag in or when to tag out. You could tag out and then miss out on a pin or whatever. It was very, like, just have them all in the ring at the same time. I don't get the point. Especially if it's going to turn into that. Like, they're just going to abandon it halfway through and then just let them all fuck in the ring.
Fuck in the ring.
Yeah, they were banging.
A great spot was when Claudio broke up one of Hero's pin attempts by picking Hero up off the ground and giving him a German suplex into a bridging pin attempt. And then after he kicked out, he gave him the giant swing. Claudio hit the Ricola bomb on Marufuji, but Hero dove on the ref to stop the count. So then Claudio went nuts and went after Hero, which led to Nigel hitting the Jawbreaker Lariat and getting
the wacky line.
His finisher was the wacky line, dude. Like they showed other videos of him doing it. He like actually has the wacky line as a finisher. Like holy.
It's not exactly it's not the wacky line. It's just
the
a lariat.
It's
the
wacky rebound.
The wacky line is a rebound lariat. That's not what he was doing. This is just a lariat.
No, he did a rebound this time.
Yeah,
he did the whole
freaking hit the
bounce
ropes.
out of
Oh
the
yeah,
rope.
you're right. Actually, you know what? You're right. He did.
He hit the ropes
I
and then
remember
like
it.
sprung off and did the lariat thing. So
I marked hard for that one.
Yeah, I didn't know that the wacky line had that kind of history. I thought it was a Dino original. I mean,
this was a good open.
Would do it.
Yeah, I knew Cesaro was based. I didn't realize he was a freaking beast back then. As Claudio Castellano, whatever his name was.
I mean, he was always good. I do think he definitely evolved once he got to WWE, though.
Also, Chris Hero wasn't fat. What's up with that?
He was in pretty good shape.
He's kind of chunky.
I mean, he's gone through ups and downs on his weight throughout his career. I mean, towards the end of his first run with WWE, he had pretty much gotten abs, but then they fired him anyways.
Yeah, they freaking fired his ass.
Now they rehired him as a fat guy who has to wear jerseys with
Sacramento Kings jerseys.
Yeah. Yeah, I was surprised how similar Cesaro is. I mean, he did the swing. I don't know. He just...
You gotta get your shit in, dude.
The only big difference is they had some hair in this match. Not a lot, but he had some hair.
Oh, yeah, he had, a little bit longer hair, before this. But, yeah, he had a little bit in this match.
Yeah, but this match was a big deal because Chris Hero and Mr. Claudio used to be tag team buddies, and this was
Kings of Wrestling.
This was a grudge match, you know. They were brawling on the inside. They weren't really brawling, but I really liked Chris Hero's entourage. There's this fat guy with frizzy blonde hair.
Oh yeah.
Kind of looking like Dolph Ziggler if he just let himself go. And then there is also this guy who is freaking roided up to the gills.
Allegedly.
It was Dempsey. I can't think of it.
Yeah, he was gassed out. Bobby Dempsey. It was Bobby Dempsey.
Bobby Dempsey was the one who is the blonde-haired guy, though. I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
shit.
The other guy was.
It was
the dude.
Tank Toland. Then.
Yeah, Tank
Yeah,
Toland.
yeah.
I looked it up. I remember.
Also known as James Dick from the Dicks.
He was in the E for a little bit.
And Sarah Del Rey was out there too.
Yeah, she's the NXT trainer for all the gals.
She's
hot
like
shit.
She's a big fucking deal now.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm sure there are people like me who are like, these guys look like fucking idiots, but they're actually big deals. Well, one of them is a big deal, which is pretty good. You know, that's a pretty good ratio.
It's kind of unfortunate we didn't get more from like Larry Sweeney though, because he was actually he was really great.
I think it's safe to say everybody didn't get more of Larry Sweeney.
Yeah, but he was, his character was known for selling people to Vince.
Yeah.
Oh boy, Vincey.
Yeah. So that was kind of funny, I guess. I don't know. This got a mild reaction out of me.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good.
It was definitely good.
It was a good opener. Had some good spots.
Chris Hero sucks.
No.
What the fuck? Why do you hate Chris Hero so much?
I just can't get behind him. He looks like a freaking retard.
Whoa.
Anyways.
The look is very important, and he just does not have it.
Dude, freaking Nigel McGuinness had frosted tips. You're going to talk about Chris Hero?
And he was skinny fat.
He looked like he was in shape.
No.
He looked more like he was in shape than Chris Hero.
Nigel McGuinness, in my opinion, looked the worst in this match.
Chris love handles.
Chris
gotta wear a t-shirt.
Cut to Bryan Danielson cutting a promo recapping the eye injury that Takeshi Morishima gave him.
This fucking talking egg.
He said, "Oh yeah, he's wearing an eye patch, by the way."
And this is also a jump
cut. Is completely shaved.
I was fucking scared, dude. It was like a jump, and then you gotta zoom in on Bryan Danielson, the school shooter. Look.
He said his family couldn't take him getting hurt, and Bryan was beginning to rethink things. He talked to his dad and discussed going back to school or, quote, going to work on the mill. But then his dad reminded him that wrestling is all he ever wanted. And Bryan agreed, and he went nuts and said he's winning the title tonight. And my recap is not doing this justice at all, but this promo fucking ruled.
Yeah, he said he ate a tuna sandwich, so he must have not been vegan at this time.
He said his dad made him a tuna sandwich.
Yeah.
Also, his mom took him to the doctor.
Well, he went between being vegan and not vegan multiple times.
I mean, he's not vegan now, isn't he?
Whoa, dude!
He's just
don't say that.
Not sure.
Planetarian or whatever.
You don't know that.
I remember seeing that somewhere.
Yeah, but some
allegedly he's not
highlights of the promo for me is when he talked about his mommy taking him to the doctor, and then him
changing his diaper.
He didn't
say
that. He didn't say that.
Changing his eye patch for him.
Why would?
Just ignore K-Line.
Yeah, but he said that, he didn't say what Camel just said. He said the thing about his mommy taking him to the eye doctor. He said mom, though. He didn't say mommy. I don't want to slander his promo.
Mommy.
And then, yeah, the part where he's like, my dad was whipping me up a tuna sandwich. You know, it was very relatable. I mean, my dad doesn't make me tuna sandwiches, but I could see myself talking to my dad about wrestling. Like, I don't know if it's time, like, you know. Like, he's a very relatable type of guy, dude. He's very vanilla, you know.
What the hell?
Everyone could see themselves as Daniel Bryan. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so the No Remorse Core, which is Rocky Romero, Davey Richards, and Roderick Strong, they had a best-of-3 singles matches series against the Resilience, which is Matt Cross, Austin Aries, and Eric Stevens.
Fucking Eric Stevens.
So the first match was Rocky Romero versus Matt Cross. Romero took control early. This was a quick match, so Cross did a couple nice reversals to start his comeback. He did a split leg press, kind of like Naomi style off the top rope.
Oh yeah, Naomi.
That was hot.
Yeah.
And then did a springboard double foot stomp for his near fall. And then Cross did like a Death Valley driver and then a twisting moonsault off the top rope, but Rocky moved and then he kicked him in the friggin' face and got the win. Quick match, but very good work.
Oh yeah, Rocky Romero has always been good, and it's nice seeing our boy Son of Havoc before he was Son of Havoc. I didn't realize it at the time, but yeah, I saw him do the spot where he like grabs the ring post and like makes his body go horizontal. I don't know what to call it, but
Yeah, I don't know
Isn't
what
that
to call it
like a
either.
Trophy? Didn't they call it like a trophy thing? I don't remember.
It's like I'm just gonna call it the pole dancer spot.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was a good match while it lasted.
they kept calling him a gymnast, which I thought was weird.
Yeah, he was a gymnast.
Yeah, but it felt like they were trying to make him sound less intimidating by calling him a gymnast.
Okay.
Which,
If you
you
say
know,
so.
gymnasts can be good wrestlers. I don't know if you guys knew this, but AJ Styles used to be a male cheerleader, so I don't know why they're like talking so much crap about gymnasts. You know, cheerleading gymnasts, same thing. But, yeah, I thought this was cool. I'm gonna say it was cool. I originally thought Mr. Cross was Austin Aries, but then I realized that Austin Aries was a complete pothead, fucking degenerate CM Punk wannabe at this time. So he looked like CM Punk and not Austin Aries.
Anyways, the second match of the series was Austin Aries versus Davey Richards. I might be alone on this. I don't think so, though. This match started out kind of boring, frankly.
I
As they
zoned
just
out.
kind of did stuff. There wasn't, like, the biggest thing was there wasn't really a lot of suspense in this match since it was kind of obvious who had to win. Like 6-7 minutes in, they did the spot where they just traded forearms in the middle of the ring and no one cared.
I mean,
It's kind of sad.
they gotta look in the mirror, dude. You guys are both like 150 pounds. Like, why are you doing this shit?
Aries
Match.
did a dive through the ropes at about 100 miles an hour, and that finally got the crowd going a little bit.
Indie geeks love a good dive.
A
ROH.
big spot was when Davey Richards gave Aries a German suplex. I think Davey kind of forgot towards the end of the match that he's supposed to be a heel because he was doing like spots where he was like fist pumping, and it was like he was like
Trying to get the
getting
crowd pumped.
going. Yeah, and like he was, yeah. But Aries hit a brainbuster followed by the 450 splash to win the match and even the series at 1-all. Match was all right.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty boring. I've only seen like a couple Davey Richards matches, but he's never like
This isn't peak Davey Richards. Davey
just
Richards,
a dude as far as I'm concerned.
he's better. He had some moments in his career where he was definitely
An
great.
indie guy,
Oh god.
Yeah,
an indie dweeb who's like a Chris Benoit wannabe or something.
yeah, that's what I thought when I saw him because he had the roids.
Family thing.
Yeah, he had the
So what do you
roids
mean
going.
he had the roids? Like, do you have any proof of that?
Yeah, I don't know. Did you see his shoulders and arms and stuff? He was looking awfully big. But yeah,
Real jacked, baby.
I mean, like this match had some psychology at the beginning though, because Roderick Strong got in and then he slid out, and it's like, oh shit, we picked Austin Aries because we thought it was gonna be
that did
Roderick
happen.
Strong, but it was only Davey Richards. God dang it.
I didn't really think that was worth recapping.
Yeah, Colin. It wasn't boring. It was just ring psychology.
Yeah, so that's
Only-
why it wasn't as cool, because you know they're saving that for a later time, because Roderick Strong's goal is to be better than Austin Aries, but I don't know if he even tried to reach his goal because he wouldn't face him head on. He had to resort to heelish bull crap. But yeah, this whole thing was just a bunch of dudes. I didn't care at all. It's just
Okay, so the
dudes.
third and final match was Roderick Strong versus Eric Stevens. Roddy did his trademark chops right off the bat.
Ouch. They were
I
very
realized at the start here that Eric Stevens is the only one of this 6-person crew who never really went anywhere with his career.
He was
even-
voted Rookie of the Year by The Observer in 2007, too.
Even Matt Cross appeared on WWE Tough Enough and went on to become Son of Havoc in Lucha Underground, who was a beloved character. And Stevens was pretty clearly the weakest worker of these 6. Not that he was like outwardly bad, but he was noticeably slower and less smooth.
He was green.
Would you say he was the Jannetty of these 6?
He did do some pretty cool moves, so it's not like he was super out of place.
I googled him. You want to know who his trainer was?
Sure.
Roderick Strong.
Oh my, that's so sweet, honestly. That's kind of cute.
Yeah, it was like Sensei versus Padawan.
So Roddy did a superplex, which Stevens no-sold, and then Roddy gave him a backbreaker, but Stevens kicked out, and the crowd was into it at that point, which was, a little bit into the match.
He hulked up.
Yeah, he basically hulked up. Stevens did a huge power slam off the top for a big near fall. That was pretty cool. Finish came when Roddy gave Stevens a splash mountain off the top, and then a Gibson driver for the 3.
Oh yeah.
So the heel No Remorse core won the series 2-1. Third match was the best of the 3, I thought.
Easily.
Yeah.
The worst was the Aries one.
Yeah.
It's also easy. These 3 matches just kind of ran together.
Well, yeah, they
just
were
didn't really,
supposed to,
get my attention.
You
Just
think?
kind of a bunch of matches. Also, I didn't know who was heel or who was face in these matches either.
Well, Davey Richards kind of fucked that up, I think.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Davey, you stupid piece of shit.
I mean, they're all tweeners. That's how modern wrestling should be. There shouldn't really
Shades
be.
of Grey.
There shouldn't be heels
the,
or faces. There
Russo.
should just be
Okay.
tweeners.
Yeah, I'm kind of underselling it, but the Roderick Strong versus Eric Stevens match was very good.
I think they should just
Oh,
do
yeah,
a
it was good.
6-man tag.
Well, they're filling time, I guess.
Yeah, I
This
mean,
ended up taking like almost half the show. These 3 matches.
if you look at the dark matches, they really didn't have anything else. Like, what are you gonna do? Put the women's tag match on the show?
That'd be, wait, they had a women's tag match? They had dark matches?
Yeah, it was Daisy Hayes and Amazing Kong
Oh, base
against
Daisy Hayes.
Lacey and Sarah Del Rey.
Oh, that's...
Yeah, that was
okay.
I think the dark match is for TV or something.
Oh, alright.
But
Well,
yeah, also, Eric Stevens' goal was to win a match on pay-per-view. That was his grand...
no, I thought that was Cross's goal.
Was it Cross's?
I think
I
so,
mean-
yeah. I'm pretty sure it was Cross's goal. Because, yeah, that's why I thought that they were doing him dirty, was because they kept talking shit about him. Oh, he's just a gymnast. He's not a wrestler.
They showed some clips from a previous show. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the one with the mask guy, and then there's
Yeah,
like...
Delirious
Delirious.
and
The
yeah,
current booker of Ring of Honor.
there's like some bald guy in a singlet who literally looked
Adam
like,
Pierce.
looked
I
like a
think.
dad. He looked like
Speaking of geeks,
yeah, like this is
Adam Pierce works for
geeks.
WWE now, dude. He's not a geek.
What's he do?
does he
Clean
work
the
for
He's an
Florida
agent.
or something?
Clean the
he's like-
locker rooms.
He's an
Basically, yes.
agent.
You can see, yeah, he's on Raw like all the time when they do like those like brawls and stuff, and they have to bring out the agents and whatever.
Oh, so he is
You can usually get a sighting.
freaking jerks off Braun Strowman.
The hell?
That's what agents do. They don't actually do anything.
I don't think Devon does that.
Well, Devon's well respected, but if you come from Indie Geek Land, you got
Devon!
the worst jobs.
Get the lotion!
Yeah.
Devon, get the tarp.
Devon, you
Get
don't
the
want
tarp.
you don't want to get these hands, dude.
Oh, good. Okay, so it was time for
Wait.
Brian. Oh
Wait.
my god.
So the
What does it-
bald guy,
Oh
he's
my
all
God.
like,
Still talking about
We're not talking
blah,
about
blah.
this.
And then some other guy comes out. He looks like freaking the guy from Beyond the Mat, like one of the dudes from Beyond the Mat that they.
You're gonna have to be way more specific than that.
Still haven't
One
seen
of the
that, so
geeks
you're
from
losing
Beyond
me.
the Mat. And he
Ah,
goes,
Are you
Bret
talking
Hart.
about Mike Modest?
yeah, we'll go with him. And then the bald guy's like, yeah, he screwed you over, man. And then the guy's like, okay. And then he beat up Delirious. Poor Delirious, dude. He got a mask stapled on his freaking head.
Oh yeah, and they didn't show that.
This is indie wrestling.
It
Dude.
was too gory for pay-per-view.
Yeah.
He was paying his dues. Now he's the booker, and nobody likes his booking. So
That's
it's
true.
pretty
He's-
well.
You could
Including
say
me.
he's pretty delirious when it comes to booking.
All right,
Save
so it was time for Bryan Danielson versus the Ring of Honor World Champion Takeshi Morishima for the
He's
title.
fat.
Yeah, this guy looked like he looked like a big baby.
I thought it was really cool that they had such a fat guy. I'm used to seeing really skinny guys.
I mean, they had Joe as champion for like 2 years.
Who's
dude.
Samoa Joe?
By the way, I think I should get this out of the way now before I forget. Takeshi Morishima's been in the news recently.
What'd he do?
Oh yeah,
He got arrested because he punched out his taxi driver because he refused to pay his cab fare. And yeah, apparently he's been a bit of a misbehavior for some time now, and he goes to indie shows and harasses people to give him money or buy him drinks and stuff, and everybody's really weirded out by him and stuff.
Dang, I
I
just
guess-
started liking him a lot more now.
Apparently he's I guess he got really depressed after he had to retire, but then he's coming out of retirement now, I guess, but I don't know who's booking him.
he retired due to diabetes. Who would have thought? But
Did he really?
accepted-
I thought it was Is it really because of diabetes?
Yeah, it's because he had high glycated hemoglobin, suggesting diabetes. And following that, doctors recommended he retire. So he
Fucking
did.
hemoglobin. Are you even listening to
yeah.
what you're saying right now,
Yeah,
dude?
hemoglobin. That's how it's spelled, dude.
That is
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah, he was ready to go and hit the ring, and then, or no, they were ready for him to go hit the ring, and they're like, it's time to go, and he's like, my blood sugar's too low. And then, yeah, he couldn't fight. He had to retire, basically. Freaking diabetic losers.
So Brian made his classic final countdown entrance. He is maybe the only man who can make that song work so well as an entrance.
Song worked very well. I'm a beast.
I don't know. They started with some hard brawling. Brian did the fourth tope so far tonight.
What's a
Brian-
tope?
The dive.
Tope is when you dive through the middle of the ropes
Oh,
to the
I
outside.
thought that was just a dive.
Yeah, you remember that Randy Orton post where he's all dive,
Yeah.
Dive,
Yeah,
dot dive.
and then Will Ospreay tried to make a T-shirt out of it, and it didn't sell. Geek.
Yeah, I remember that. How does that have to do with topes, though?
It's a dive.
Oh, okay.
That's what he was referring to.
Yeah, his
From the
dime sure
topes.
dived after that.
Who ass play or Orton?
No,
Ass play or snorting?
no. Orton's
Jesus.
dimes went up. Assplay's
That's
dimes
true.
went down. You
Yeah.
had to start dressing up like a cat after that to get over.
Brian came off the top rope but was caught with a power bomb, but then Brian turned that into an attempt at a triangle. Brian is able to constantly turn submission moves into like big moments in the match, and they're super over all the time because he's fucking great.
That's true.
I don't think anyone like before or since has been able to do that like him. Zack Sabre Jr. kind of is getting there, sort of.
He's good at twisting people up like a pretzel,
Yeah, he's good at making.
grabbing their fingers and bending them a little
Yeah,
bit. You know.
he's got more of like a homoerotic style. You know, there's more sexuality.
I
to it.
don't know what you mean.
The
What
fuck
are
are
you
you-
talking about?
Well, like, you see all these soy boys get off to Zack Sabre Jr. You know why? It's because they want to bone him because he's a
I've never
freaking
seen
twink.
anybody talk about this, Slam. Is there something you want to get off your chest right now for us?
Dude, there has to be some reason why they're all cheering on like some twink, okay? I'm not cheering him on because I'm not gay, but there's apparently a lot of gays in the indie wrestling community.
If you say so.
Well, I guess he's not really an indie wrestler because he wrestles in Japan, but
Yeah, he still takes indie dates, I think.
anyway, he's gay.
Yeah, Brian can get anything over just by subtle movements that you don't even realize he's really doing. And yeah, he's fantastic.
Well, isn't he like the king of Ring of Honor? So, like, he probably didn't even have
He's
to
definitely
try
one
at
of 'em.
that point. Like, he just...
Well, how do you think he became King of Ring of Honor? It's because he's freaking great.
yeah,
Like taking neck bumps, getting concussed.
he's not Kenny Omega. Chill, okay? He has
No,
more
well,
talent
but-
than Kenny Omega. So he doesn't have to
Morishima-
resort to being a stunt man.
took off Brian's eye patch and punched him in the
yeah,
eye.
that was
What a
brutal.
heel move.
Yeah.
Brian did a small package, but Morishima kicked out and then repeatedly punched and elbowed Brian in his bad eye until the referee stopped the match.
Yeah, you can't do a small package on a big package, you feel me? That wasn't
Some
gonna
of the
work.
crowd chanted bullshit, but I actually liked
Well,
this
not-
finish and thought
Yeah,
it
this-
worked well.
Considering all the bullshit finishes you can get nowadays, seeing a finish like this was good. Sadly, these indie guys wanted to see a pinfall or a submission.
Fight
their,
forever.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, it's because like Ring of Honor, especially at this time, like almost every match ended like with just a decisive pin or submission, and this is a decisive finish too, but it's just one that they're not really used to.
Yeah. I thought it was a good finish.
Yeah, you gotta train your indie marks until they understand, like, oh, this is okay. This is okay. I'm not gonna chant at bullshit at this one. I like this.
Yep.
Yeah, this match was great, and Brian is one of the best wrestlers I've ever seen.
Yeah, these two guys beat the living shit out of each other, and I enjoyed every second of it.
Yeah, I really wish Morishima was a WWE wrestler, you know, because he's cool.
There was like, for years, there was rumors of him going to the WWE, but he never actually did.
Yeah, it's probably
Yeah,
because
diabetes instead.
he's not. He wouldn't fit their
Put
mold.
the donuts down.
Probably because he's a weirdo who harasses people to buy him drinks and stuff at indie shows.
Yeah,
Probably doesn't help.
yeah. I mean, if you
Or
go to indie
gets into
shows,
cabs with no intention of paying for it.
well, I
What a
mean,
guy.
when you're that big, maybe I would feel like I could get away with it.
Define big, like big isn't popular or big isn't fat.
Well, half and half, because he's pretty wide, you know, no taxi driver is really gonna be able to stop him. And then on
You don't
top
see
of
many
that,
wide Asians.
he could think that he's hot crap, you know. So,
He probably does think that.
so that's why he thinks he's above the law or whatever. But yeah, he's cool. I didn't really like that he was wearing the underwear this match because he couldn't get a control of it. He had to keep pulling it up over his big
Yeah,
tummy.
Trish Stratus would not be happy watching this match.
Like, he was readjusting after every move, you know? He'd be like, ah, shoot, I gotta put my stomach away again. It just slipped out, you know? But other than that, this was a pretty good match.
I still think he looked like a baby, though.
How do he look like a baby? Because he doesn't have facial hair?
Because he's fat. He's got a fat baby face. Homo.
He had a lot of hair, though. Babies don't
His
have a lot of
underwear
hair.
looked like a diaper.
Yeah.
It's just a big old child, you know? A big old baby.
There was
Next match.
Yeah, to the back.
There was a quick video package recapping the Briscoes versus Steen and Generico feud so far. And so it was time for the main event. It was Kevin Steen and El Generico versus the Briscoe brothers in a ladder war for the Ring of Honor tag team titles. This was apparently the first ever ladder war in Ring of Honor, which is pretty cool because it became a pretty legendary match stipulation that ROH was known for.
Is this just like their ladder match, or will they
Yeah, I don't know if I
ladder
was
war like
missing something.
TLC equivalent? Will they go all out?
I don't know. I think it's pretty much just a ladder match.
A ladder match
But
with a cool name.
They call it a different thing because WWE can't use words like war because that's just blatantly non-PG. know.
One of the things that was weird about the video package, I could just be forgetting, but I didn't really understand why they were fighting, even after seeing the video package.
They're fighting to see who's the best tag
title.
team.
This is just
but
classic
can we
wrestling.
Let's
See who's
get
better.
some more story than that, you know?
Okay, the story is the Briscoes have the title.
Yeah.
Story is El Generico and Kevin Steen are best friends and a tag team, and they want that title.
Okay.
So they're having this match. I believe they've had matches before where Steen and Generico lost, leading to this.
Okay.
So Jay Briscoe gave Generico a hard chair shot to the head right off the bat here, just a few months after Chris Benoit's death.
Oh yeah, these fucking chair shots that they did.
And Generico gave him a receipt with a headshot of his own.
The chairs were snapping in half.
They gave each other a couple of receipts.
Yes, there was a few.
There were a lot of potatoes going around this match.
And so they were split up in pairs, brawling through the crowd. Needless to say, there was a lot of spots in this match, so I'm not really going to recap all of it, but I'll try to get the major points here. The Briscoes both started bleeding at some point. I really don't even know when or how.
The one with the gash on his head, like the back of his head, happened when Generico and Briscoe #1 got into the like inside of the barricade, and then Generico just fucking chunks the chair at him.
Oh yeah, he did.
That happened there. I don't know
spot where he just throws the chair at like 90 miles per hour at the dude's face. That's a good one.
But while they were brawling in the crowd, it's worth noting that we saw a bunch of terrorist-looking guys in ski masks chilling in the crowd.
Yeah, that was weird.
Just giving Steen like a chair or something. Just trying to be inconspicuous. What are you crapping about? Is everything
we completely forgot about the Boomer helping out Cesaro at the beginning of the show.
What the hell are you talking about?
You didn't
there was a Boomer.
You probably weren't even watching, but yeah, there was a Boomer. There was like when he got knocked out in the crowd, there was like 5 Ring of Honor fans that were trying to help him up. And one of
Cesaro was on the barricade, and there was this like 40-year-old man with like no hair, skinny, with his t-shirt tucked into his jeans, just chilling, watching some wrestling, you know.
Yeah, and he was like, "Let me help you up, bro."
Anyway, back to the task at hand.
So the first big moment in the match was when Steen pushed over a ladder that had a Briscoe climbing it, and the Briscoe landed onto another ladder propped in the corner. First, "This is awesome" chant came after that.
Yeah, this is awesome.
There was broken pieces of ladder all over the place. Steen did an awesome bomb, threw a ladder to the floor, but kind of missed the ladder, and that looked like it sucked pretty bad.
Pretty much like skimmed the ladder. He pretty much
Yeah.
landed on the floor. The floor got all of it.
The floor went over.
Yeah.
Steen was climbing the ladder when a Briscoe shoved Generico into the ladder, which sent Steen flying off the ladder. That looked pretty risky because he had like no control of where he was going to land.
And he's fat too.
Mark Briscoe did a shooting star press onto a ladder that was laying on top of Generico. And then pretty much immediately after, Jay Briscoe did a top rope leg drop through a table onto Steen on the outside. The ladder they were trying to use to climb was all fucked up, so Jay Briscoe ordered for this big-ass red ladder out in the crowd area to be brought in.
Yeah, the Marks crowdsourced the ladder over to the ring.
Yeah, they did, actually.
That was very nice of them.
Yeah, the ladder in the ring wasn't tall enough.
Yeah, all the ladders they used.
Well, the first
of
ladder
all-
was probably... Well, it was tall enough if you got, like, to the top of it.
Yeah,
but...
you had to, like, freaking jump off of the top of it and then hang from the belts, basically.
So the ladders WWE use, they have pretty much they're the exact same on both sides. They get them from a company, they spray paint them, and they'll get to go. These geeks, they just went to the hardware store and bought all the ladders they could find. Some of them had like the paint bucket things at the top. Some of them were just too small. In fact, all of them were too small except for one. So I don't see this match finishing had this big ladder not come here. Which, I mean, they probably had a giant ass ladder just in case. Anyway, so
Well, I don't know. I think this was planned all along.
they came
I don't know,
prepared.
though.
Yeah, they're like, fuck, we
Um,
got the wrong ladders. Get the actual ladder in here.
Steen did a package pile driver onto a ladder that was propped between the ropes and the big red ladder. And then Jay did the J driller through a ladder set up the same way on the opposite side. And then, so it was Jay and Steen were the only ones who weren't dead, and they both went to the top of the ladder and they were pulling at the belts, and then they threw hockey punches at each other. And Steen finally fell, and then Jay unclipped the belts, but he couldn't pull them down.
They
So
were kind
then-
of wedged in there, so
Yeah, and then Steen made his way back up, and Jay kind of held him off. And then Jay finally pulled off one of the belts and won the match and retained the titles. Fans chanted match of the year. This match was an excellent car crash.
oh yeah. It was a spot fest. It was exactly what it was supposed to be. It was a fantastic match. For a bunch of dudes killing each other, that is.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Really?
Okay.
That's what you
What are your problems with this match, Lambert?
Okay, first things first. Kevin Steen, okay, this guy.
The singlet? Are you about to?
Why was he wearing?
Bury the
Why did he
singlet?
ever wear a singlet, dude?
I will say
What he
I
did.
do prefer his WWE gear.
The singlet
The
gives
symbol.
him. It does him no favors. You know, you would think that one of these losers who work for Ring of Honor would think, hey, if we just make all of our characters tweeners anyway, why not have them perform in street clothes or something? You know, get him wear some jeans or something. I don't know.
Actually, before he debuted on NXT, he was originally going to have a singlet, but they were taking pictures of the NXT geeks one day, and he realized, wait a minute, I look like a fucking idiot.
Yeah, he
So he
looks
just
like a
threw on the
dumbass
t-shirt.
in the singlet.
He threw on some gym shorts, and he used some of Finn Balor's body paint to paint the world's fight on his shirt, and that's where that comes from.
El Generico, on the other hand, I really hope Sami Zayn comes back with a mask, because I think he's a lot more interesting with the mask on. I don't know what it is, but he was also pushing about 100 pounds. He was very skinny. I don't know what was going on there.
Looking like a Holocaust victim in this match.
Yeah,
he didn't. He needed to eat a steak and hit the weights. That's what this kid needed to do.
Yeah, he was looking weird. And then the Briscoes, I don't know about the Briscoes. They were just whatever, and they were wearing like
Just whatever.
Their theme was cool. They have a cool theme. I like their theme.
You know they won Tag Team of the Year this year, right, Lambent? 2007.
And what?
The Observer Newsletter
Oh,
Award.
if it's not Pro Wrestling Illustrated, it really doesn't matter to me. So.
And PWI.
Yeah, I was feeling, I don't know, maybe I just wasn't in the right mood to watch this match, but I was feeling whatever towards the end. I was just like, okay, let's pack it up. Yeah,
Well,
I tried.
the Briscoes, especially at this time, they had a tendency to, like, their matches would go too long and there'd be too many spots and it would end well after the peak. But with this match, I thought it ended at the perfect time and
27 minutes, 23 seconds.
You know, it ended after the two biggest spots, so
Yeah. I think the whole thing can just be encapsulated in, like, the pay-per-view itself, just because all these guys, they would go on to NXT or whatever. I don't like NXT. I never really liked them when they get called up, so I just don't think any of these wrestlers are for me.
This was the Before They Were Famous show.
Yeah, and
That's
honestly, it wasn't that much different. Like, I was expecting them to be doing, like, crazy stuff that they aren't allowed. Well, I guess, you know, throwing chairs
Pile
at people
drivers.
and crazy. Yeah,
Do
pile
pile
drivers.
drive.
Yeah, pile
The
drivers are the
headshots,
big
the
difference.
JOs, they can't do those.
Yeah. I mean, I was just expecting them to be, like, way better or something. I don't know what I was expecting, but...
I know what you were expecting. You were expecting outlaw indie wrestling.
Yeah, I just don't think I'm a Ring of Honor guy. I'm a sports entertainment kind of guy, and this just solidified that for me.
So they teased Steen and Generico breaking up. Spoiler alert, they didn't.
They didn't break up?
No, not yet.
Eventually.
Some dudes in ski masks came to the edge of the crowd, and then
ISIS.
Tyler Black and Jimmy Jacobs got in the ring. That was another Before They Were Famous.
Tyler Black, of course, Seth Rollins.
And then the Necro Butcher.
Based.
That
guy
Cowboy
was
the
cool.
Necro Butcher.
I really wish we could have gotten a Necro Butcher match on this show.
Yeah,
It's
he looked
unfortunate we
more
didn't get that.
interesting than the rest of the wrestlers.
Oh, he is.
Because he had like a gimmick, you know? He wasn't just a dude.
He's super based. But anyways, yeah, he followed, and they all attacked the Briscoes, and this was the debut of the Age of the Fall, which was a stable that lasted like many years in Ring of Honor.
It was your, your edgy atheist stable. That's what they were pretty much.
And the show went off the air.
So they got Age of the Fall and No Remorse Core. Like, who the hell came up with these
And
names?
the Resilience.
Yeah, like, what? They got the same guy who came up with the TNA pay-per-view names to do the stable names, too.
It's possible.
TNA was having pay-per-views around this time.
Yeah.
But this was a very good show. Maybe not quite as good as I was kind of expecting, because I knew coming in that it was, really well touted and whatnot, but it was still very good.
I was expecting better too. I mean, the last two matches were like, they met the expectation. Those three in the middle were just kind of there.
I mean, I did like the Roderick Strong and Eric Stevens match.
Yeah, that was fine, but the other two the other one wasn't even, the Rocky Romero match wasn't even 5 minutes long.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it just kind of was this big, spot in the middle where just kind of nothing of interest was happening.
Yeah, this is probably the least enjoyed show that we've watched so far for me.
I
You
don't
were just
know.
not into this show.
I don't know what it was. It could just be the wrestlers. I never really liked any of the wrestlers that were in here. I've kind of warmed up to Daniel Bryan over the years.
Like Hog Wild more than this.
Uh, we've watched more, so now Hog Wild doesn't even qualify. You know, that's just like I don't
Oh,
know.
it qualifies.
I would say it's
How does it
tied
not
with Hog
qualify?
Wild for last place. I like the
Hog Wild
TNA show
was
more than this.
Hog Wild was enjoyable until the shitty ass main event.
Yeah, I mean, Hog Wild had that really good Rey Mysterio match on it. Because I love Rey.
That's true.
And, you know, Benoit and Dean Malenko were okay, even though the crowd hated it. But, yeah, anyway, yeah, there's just nothing really. I liked the Morishima Bryan match. But other than that, you know, you can keep this show. I don't need to see it. Yeah, I don't know. I just think Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, you know, Kevin can talk, but whenever he's wrestling, I just don't give a crap.
I mean, he can have good matches still, just not with AJ Styles apparently.
Yeah, I mean, I don't doubt his wrestling ability. I don't think any of these guys are bad wrestlers. They just weren't for me.
Not good sports simultaneous. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, there's just no character to any of them. It's just moves, and it's like I like wrestling, but I like some gimmicks too, and there weren't any gimmicks going on. It was just dudes versus dudes. Maybe if we
Yeah, there
got
was
the
no
butcher
gimmick,
guy,
just
I would have
battle
liked it
match.
more.
I think you probably would have liked Necro Butcher.
Yeah, he seemed cool.
But like I alluded to, this match, or not this match, this show had quite a lot of fanfare, and in fact, this show won Best Major Wrestling Show in the Observer Awards for 2007. So,
Yeah, the fans loved it, and especially considering this was in 2007, that's really rare, honestly.
What, for indie geeks that love indie wrestling?
No, for like a crowd to be that freaking animated.
Oh, freaking Ring of Honor crowds were always this animated, dude.
yeah, Ring of Honor.
Especially back
like,
then.
Yeah.
Ring of Honor had like rabid fans.
Well, this is
They
like
totally,
one of their
like-
first times doing it, so because they only had like a few pay-per-views before this, so
this is like the
probably,
Well, they've been
second
around
full
since
pay-per-view.
2002, so.
Oh yeah, did you guys like that like video package where they showed all the people who are no longer in Ring of Honor anymore, or like
Oh, like CM Punk.
yeah,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
people
they
who
did.
were suspended
Uh,
from WWE, so they had to fight at Ring of Honor. Like
And-
they showed.
well, they
Eddie,
showed Mick
Oh, yeah,
Foley
Eddie.
and yeah.
Eddie, Matt Hardy.
Fat Hardy, haha.
Nah, he wasn't fat at that time. Matt Hardy was still in good shape when he was at Ring of Honor for however long that was. Yeah, he was. He wasn't really bad until like after the Edge feud. Then he let himself go really badly. I mean, you can go look at Matt Hardy. He was not fat. And then who else did they show?
Bunch of people.
Yeah, I think we covered most of it. Oh yeah, I'm sure Samoa Joe was in there. But yeah, also coming off of the Royal Rumble show where there were so many like good characters too, you know, it was just like the complete
So many
opposite.
boring matches too.
Yeah, but they're cool characters, you know.
You got me. The Genius was pretty base.
Yeah,
Oh, fuck yeah.
yeah. I'd
Love the
take the
Genius.
Genius over Roderick Strong any day.
The Genius is dimes. So, yeah, Ladder War was the name of ladder matches. They've had 9 of them in Ring of Honor total. Each one features either a Briscoe, a Stino Generico, or a Young Buck. So yeah, they pretty much own this match when it
Are
comes
they
to this
gonna-
company.
Are they gonna end up in the future calling like one of their shows Ladder War and then having one Ladder War match at the end That'd be
It's
pretty
our
cool.
annual ladder war show. We gotta do a ladder match.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they usually do them on Final Battle. Or Super
Mhm.
Card of Honor, it looks like.
So yeah, I think that's the show. Is there anything anybody wants to say before we send it off?
I'm gonna give it 1 thumbs up. The middle kind of put it down for me. If the middle was more interesting, probably would have been 2. But it was a good show overall. I would say it was a nice, fun little indie show, little indie outlaw, show.
This one's gonna be getting a 2 thumbs down for me.
Oh,
Good lord.
I can't do it, dude. I really can't wait till all these wrestlers that were doing this in 2007, they retire, hopefully, in the modern day, because they're ruining wrestling.
you think AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan are ruining wrestling?
No, I'm talking about the dudes that were on this show that aren't Daniel Bryan, basically. Roderick Strong, Austin Aries.
You mean the vanilla midgets? Is what you're
Undisputed Era. They weren't on the show, but they could have been easily.
Go
They would have fit
Times,
Roddy
right in.
baby!
Well, yeah, Roddy was in. They just all suck.
Wow.
They suck.
You tell us how you really feel.
Yep, show sucked. Hopefully the next show we watch is better than this, because I
so mad.
I can't do it, dude. If we gotta
Alright,
watch
if you
another
say
Ring
so.
of Honor show, I might just end it all.
I don't think we'll be watching Ring of Honor anytime
Nah,
soon.
probably not.
Yeah,
After
this is
the,
probably
Especially now with
one
their
of-
shitty fucking website with no. We could we could do a Ring of Honor show and do Final Battle 2018, whatever they called it.
Oh yeah,
You have to
I'll-
pay money for that too,
That's
though.
about it.
Well, actually, we probably find
Yeah,
that
you
one
can find that. Also,
nefariously.
fuck Seth
No, never
Rollins. Fuck Dean Eddy. I'm turning heel on all these guys. Fuck all
Oh my
of them.
god.
What the hell? What did Dean do?
Dean had an
did
awful
he
match. That's all he had to do, and he also has an
On,
awful gimmick right now.
TLC?
Yeah, keep the mask
Dude.
on.
Don't hate on the Bane gimmick.
I like the Bane gimmick, but the freaking other gimmicks suck. He just needs to keep the mask on. He should just talk in a Bane voice. Him and Bray Wyatt can
I would
become a
act-
tag
I
team.
would turn the corner on Dean if he talked in the
He just goes full Bane.
I would mark the hell out if he just came out on Raw one week and thought he was Bane, and like that was the gimmick, And he could win
That'd be
too.
pretty
Like
good.
why not? Put the strap on him.
That's how WWE is going to shake things up, is by turning Dean into Bane.
Yep, and EC3.
What about EC3?
He's gonna shake things up. They're gonna strap a rocket to him.
And then strap a rocket to his ass.
Yep, and then he's gonna
Pump
be
him
the
full of
champ.
gas and send him to the moon.
All right, fellas. I think that's the episode.
Yeah.
Sounds like it.
Worst
know what we'll be
episode
doing.
ever.
Don't know what we'll be doing next, but I'm sure it'll be great.
Yeah,
It'll probably
it'll
be
be
something
better than
different
this.
again.
If we can get Colin to watch wrestling again.
We can get him to
If,
watch
if we
wrestling.
could possibly
and
get me
then-
to watch wrestling again.
But
But yeah, this was episode 6, and we'll see you next time.
ring the
Bye,
bell.
friends.
Ring that bell.
Ring the bell. Follow us on Twitch, Facebook, Google+, Twitter,